My name is Ahmed Al Mazem, and I am an Emirati filmmaker, actor and storyteller. As an artist, basically, we are mostly independent. We work independently and freelance. So yeah, I create my own short films, my own plays. I mostly work with the House of Wisdom for my storytelling, for the children and youth. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. That's kind of my daily life. So my filmmaking career, my favorite filmmaker of all time is Steven Spielberg. He directed Jaws, E.T., Close Encounters. He's my biggest inspiration. But really, people who are around me really inspire me. Filmmakers from the UAE, actually, and the region. I like learning from everyone. I like learning all about cultures, from all over the world, and that alone is my inspiration in my everyday life. So I started my, let's say, filmmaking life back in high school. I knew I always wanted to be an actor and a filmmaker, but I never really took it seriously until high school. I went to an engineering high school, actually, in a moment in my life, and didn't really work for me. So I was like, okay, I'm never taking filmmaking for granted, basically. So this is where I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it seriously. So this is my life, this is what I want to do. And I would say my style, let's say the stories that I like to tell are stories that are personal to me. For example, my latest short film is called Baba Ja'far, and it was a love letter to my grandfather who passed away from Alzheimer's. So it was, a love letter to him. Martin Scorsese, the great filmmaker, once said, the more personal you get, the more creative that you get, and I really agree with it. And I want to, keep creating stories that are personal to me, that are from my culture, from the UAE, Sharjah, our stories basically, and I want to share it to the whole world. It's always tricky as an independent filmmaker because you don't have a big team, but you should always trust your instincts basically. If you have a story that you're dying to share with the world, just do it. Start writing the script, because you won't know unless you start writing yourself and start, directing the film yourself. And you'll face challenges. That's something that is very normal. Don't let anything stop you, basically. That is my number one plan, basically. If I think too much, this is where I get in trouble. And obstacles will just happen, and you just don't think about it. Just let it float, basically. And that's how you will learn, and you will keep creating lots of great stuff. So usually I write the film myself, and I direct it, and I have my team, the cinematographer, the gaffer, the boom operator. Yeah, the most challenging project for me so far is my latest short film, Baba Ja'far, because it was a big script with different locations that we had to go to. So it was tricky for me as an independent filmmaker, and it shocks people when I tell them we were only 2 people behind the camera, and my boom mic broke during the first day, and I had an option to stop or to continue saying the story, and I decided to continue basically, because if I stop, I will keep stopping my whole life and I won't learn from my mistakes. And it was a story that is incredibly personal to me, so it was really important for me to say it, and I couldn't sleep at night because it was a love letter to my grandfather. So I was like, okay, I do not care about the technical issues. Thank God I trusted my instincts, the actors I worked with. Yeah, I decided to go on, and I was really afraid, honestly, before the film got screened in film festivals, in the UAE and all around the world. I was really afraid. I was like, okay, I should have stopped maybe. You always doubt yourself, and people will hate it because there are technical issues, but they really loved it, and I was really surprised because the story is so powerful, and I was so grateful that it was a feel-good film, as so many people described it. It was a heartwarming film, and that's what it's all about, really, because as filmmakers, we're storytellers. So you have a story that you want to say, just say it to the world, basically. I think you try to find an aspect of any project that you're working on and make it personal. Because, you always relate to even, let's say, 5% of a project or 5% of a story that is being told. Because, let's say cinema or theater, they are mirror where we see ourselves, basically, as human beings. So you'll definitely find something that you can relate to. Even if it's not something that you necessarily faced in your life, but, you have your friends, you have your family, at least you've heard something like it. So you try and make it, like if you have no choice but to, let's say, take on this project, you try and make it personal as possible to you, yeah. Whether you're a photographer, whether you're a filmmaker, a theater performer, a painter, you must know that you are a storyteller and you are sharing a story to the world. Like, even if you look at these beautiful photographies, that we have, they are stories, basically. As Shakespeare said, the world is a big stage, so all our life is a story. It's art, basically, so it's part of you and you can never really let go. And I think everyone really realizes that. That's why we keep going back to films, we keep going back to theaters, photographies that we have. If you look at, for example, there is a film called Marriage Story that is on Netflix, Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. There is one specific scene that they took from a very famous painting, basically. So see, it's all connected, it's all stories. You have the painting and you have that scene from the film, and they say the same thing, basically, you know, no matter how different it is, but the base, the core of it, the heart and soul, it's all the same. So it's life, basically. Spontaneous, passionate, dreamer, I think, yeah. Just keep doing what you do, basically, and you won't know unless you try doing it yourself. Like if you have a project if you have a story, whether it's in filmmaking, photography, theater, if you want to do something, just do it. That's my #1 question. And don't let anyone tell you what your value is, because you know what your value is. And let passion, compassion, and your spontaneity basically drive you, and you'll be fine. So I just, because I'm an actor as well, I just wrapped a TV series. It's called Wadima and Halima, and it is a 3rd season. They already did it for 2 seasons, and now I'm replacing a character which was brilliantly played by one of my dear friends, Ahmed Al Mazem. And I hope people enjoy it. It's a sitcom, so it's a comedy, and it's a very well beloved sitcom. I really hope people enjoy it. So yeah, I just wrapped this project, but I really miss filmmaking as well. So it's been a while since I've done a film. I really want to do something that, you know, inspire people, a story that needs to be told. So once I find that very soon, I'll be able to go back to filmmaking.